I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you.
Few fantasy matchups in boxing history ignite as much passion and debate as the hypothetical clash between Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr. and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both men stand as generational icons, masters of their craft and symbols of their respective eras. Fans and experts alike endlessly argue over who would prevail if these two ring geniuses ever squared off. But the conversation goes deeper than just skill, it's about legacy. Mayweather's immaculate precision and untouchable defense against Crawford's adaptability, power, and killer instinct.
One of the greatest, he's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't.
Like what?
Like what?
Audience that don't know.
He is a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do,
he done it.
He did.
Floyd Mayweather retired with a perfect record of 50 wins and 0 losses, one of the cleanest and most iconic resumes in boxing history. He conquered champions across 5 weight divisions, outthinking and outmaneuvering every style imaginable. His defensive brilliance and ability to completely shut down world-class punchers and tacticians alike became the blueprint of modern boxing mastery.
Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He has never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And Floyd, and usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, has quietly built a legacy that rivals anyone in the modern era. A multiple division undisputed champion, he's proven himself as one of the most complete fighters ever, a switch hitter with elite timing, reflexes, and knockout precision. His ability to dissect opponents mid-fight and adjust instantly has made him a nightmare for anyone who shares the ring with him. Many now place Crawford alongside the greats, and for some, only Mayweather's shadow still lingers above.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that old that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game, and if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the...
Oscar de la Hoya, who once battled Mayweather himself, recently gave his take on the debate. He still leans toward Floyd, citing his perfect record, defensive IQ, and composure under fire. According to De La Hoya, Mayweather's consistency and mental sharpness make him nearly impossible to surpass. But not everyone agrees. Canelo Alvarez, who fought Mayweather in 2013 and has recently shared the spotlight with Crawford, stirred the boxing world by saying Crawford is better than Floyd ever was. Canelo praised Bud's versatility, intelligence, and modern dominance, saying Crawford's recent wins show a level even Floyd didn't reach. Coming from a man who's faced both, that opinion carries heavy weight.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather when you were 23 years old, I believe.
23.
And
Just
again,
turned 20.
yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people will say, "Oh, he had a lot of fights." Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause, and I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in the moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment, but for some reason doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way, but we never gonna know. And I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Boxing legend Shane Mosley, who went the full 12 rounds with Mayweather, has offered a surprising perspective. He believes that Crawford's arsenal, his switch hitting, power, and creativity might give him the edge in a head-to-head matchup. Mosley admitted that while Floyd's brilliance is unmatched, Crawford brings angles, explosiveness, and rhythm changes that Mayweather never had to face during his career.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually taking more of a weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is it.
Still, Mosley never downplays Mayweather's greatness. He's repeatedly acknowledged that Floyd's defensive genius and unmatched discipline make him one of boxing's toughest puzzles to solve. In Mosley's eyes, Mayweather was an artist inside the ring, a man who never fought recklessly, never lost focus, and always found a way to adapt.
Surprised about his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be.
Mosley's own experience adds credibility to his view. In their 2010 fight, Mosley stunned Mayweather with a huge right hand in the second round, but after that moment, Floyd adjusted instantly, shutting Mosley down completely for the rest of the bout. That memory still shapes Mosley's respect for Floyd. He admits that while Crawford's aggression and versatility are dangerous, Mayweather's ability to solve problems on the fly might still give him the upper hand.
Everybody talk about Shane Carter, but what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot and he stood there, held on tight, and on top of that, made Shane feel his strength, and came back out like nothing happened the previous round.
Right.
But still stone cold.
Right.
And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Oh, okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like,
you did said something to him when you grabbed him.
I said, you gotta kill me.
Oh, shit. I wasn't ready, bro.
I said, that was a good one. I said, that was a good one, but you gotta kill me. Wow. I said, you gotta kill me. And then I'm not gonna lie.
Crawford's longtime friend and former world champion Andre Ward has been one of his most vocal defenders. Ward has repeatedly dismissed claims that Crawford's achievements fall short of Mayweather's, arguing that Bud's adaptability, ring IQ, and ability to destroy elite competition place him in the same stratosphere.
The most skilled fighter today.
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots,
my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud, because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talking. But until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying a guy, you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really know what you have.
Ward has even gone further, calling Crawford the greatest of this generation. After Crawford's destruction of Errol Spence Jr., Ward said Bud had finally earned that crown, a complete fighter with no weakness. Ward's belief isn't just personal loyalty, it's based on what he's seen firsthand, a fighter who dominates, adapts, and evolves every single round.
We just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford is a great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing? Why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to talk to you. Appreciate it.
Mayweather himself has spoken on Crawford many times, with both respect and pride. He's congratulated Bud on his major victories, particularly the Spence fight, while also reminding fans of his own flawless legacy. In classic Floyd fashion, he positions himself as the standard, the bar every fighter must measure against. That dynamic between admiration and legacy protection fuels the ongoing rivalry of eras. Mayweather has always seen himself as the ultimate reference point, and the idea of a younger star surpassing him? That's what keeps the debate alive.
I didn't want them to fight. I really like both of those guys. A lot. I had a chance to hang around Earl. Had a chance to hang around Terence. And both guys, class act. It would look like I'm leaning towards one guy because I've boxed one guy before.
It was beautiful to watch, but also tough to watch to see what happened to Errol. Obviously, you don't wish that on,
Nobody.
Nobody.
The best man won. If I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
It's just my honest opinion.
Roy Jones Jr., another all-time great, has also thrown his voice into the conversation, and his take leans heavily toward Crawford. Roy calls Bud the current king of pound-for-pound boxing, saying he's been dominating longer and more impressively than anyone else. While Roy acknowledges Mayweather's greatness, he's also criticized Floyd's cautious matchmaking later in his career, suggesting that some fighters with aggressive styles and power could have caused him real trouble. On Crawford's side, Roy has praised his fearlessness, a smaller man taking on bigger challenges and still coming out on top.
Probably your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought, we just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand, this is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donell. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
After his shocking victory over Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford addressed his critics directly at the post-fight press conference. He reminded everyone that they said he was too small, too old, or too limited to beat someone like Canelo. And yet, he did exactly that. What can they say now? Crawford asked. He called it a defining victory, proof that greatness transcends weight and expectation. He admitted there was bias and pressure from the crowd and media, but said that only fueled his motivation.
Terence Crawford would beat upon Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. What the advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he can also, he's versatile. He can switch to the southpaw stance. And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you in either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough to beat Floyd, and he'll not have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he'll win a close decision. Hey, I want to know what everybody else thinks.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Avanesian, I mean not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo to me. To be honest.
Terence, congratulations.
This is your life for so long with Floyd fighting this guy, fighting Manny, fighting Conor, and all those, you were just at the center of all these talks for so many years. Is it exciting to be back there again? Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
In a recent twist, Floyd Mayweather dropped a bombshell hint that he might actually return to professional boxing. With an exhibition against Mike Tyson set for spring 2026, Floyd told TMZ that talks are happening about a possible comeback. He said he feels great, still trains regularly, and wants to give fans something unforgettable. Whether he'd risk his perfect 50-0 record remains uncertain, but for the first time in years, Floyd has publicly left the door cracked open.